opportunity, and there's always so many as well. So it's wonderful to be connected with
Yes,
you through that.
yes, I agree completely. And so tell me a little bit about what beyond being connected, um, that you really love about SourceBottle, and then we'll get started with our stuff.
What I really like about SourceBottle,
About
sorry,
uh, SourceBottle.
what I found is that I've been able to make friends through SourceBottle. I know it's an actual opportunity to collaborate and to work with other people. At the same time, I have noticed it's been easy to make friends, moreover, when we are working together, and also to be able to refer people onto other people and what they are doing. So, in that sense, it's a really good way to network and to support one another as well. That's what I really like about it.
Wonderful, wonderful. And your hubby is better now?
Yes, he is. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad. Well, I'm looking at your response here, and you said you've experienced these challenging situations and still do, and would like to share how you go through them.
Yes,
So,
so
and
I
you're from
thought
the
that would
UK, but
be
now you're in the Netherlands, right?
yes. I'm originally I was born in Portugal and I grew up in the UK, but I live in the Netherlands now.
Oh, fascinating. This is I love this. I lived in the UK when I was a little girl. My father was in the US Navy, and we were stationed over in and around London. We moved 5 times in 3 years in and around
Oh,
London.
yeah,
It was a lot of moving.
that's very yeah for a little girl as well. I can
Oh,
imagine.
but it gives you the sense that if you take meanness and war out of the equation, people can find a way to do life, in a fine way. It's different in different parts of the world, and that's okay.
That is, and it's good to understand more about how people are in different parts of the world, so you can connect better to them and relate to them as well, and what they're going through.
Yes, exactly, and that is so important. So for this short interview this morning, really the thing that I am interested in hearing from you is, from those challenging situations. I'd love to hear some of them, and then before we get off, my question would be at the end of our short time together. What do you want to know about empowering yourself? I'm asking that question in the context of a book that I'm writing, and then who knows, we may end up finding something along the way that is a juicy, fun way for us to collaborate and do better in the world.
That sounds good, and it's wonderful that I like that through this exchange and connection that we're getting to meet one another and also getting to know how each other works. And like you said, you never know where the conversation will lead and
Yes.
what it opens up. So it's wonderful that it's natural in this sense.
Wonderful. So tell me about some challenging situations and how you go through them.
Okay. Can would you be happy to refresh what the subject and the
Yes.
description of what
Uh-huh.
you put out from
Yes.
SourceBottle? I'm sorry, I don't have it
Oh,
here on the screen.
that's perfectly fine. I am happy to do that. Oh, goodness. I clicked on it and it says, I put an end date on it. And now, since I'm new to SourceBottle, it's telling me that it's not found. So let me see if I can find it in an email someplace. Let me see. Where would I have put that? Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if I can log into my computer as well, but I've been having problems with it, so it's not working.
We love our machines when they work. When they don't, we're not so crazy about it. So
I think that's why I'm grateful for the different devices that we now have. It's
yeah,
really amazing, like being on the phone and able to be on Zoom at the same time without being on the computer.
it's amazing. Okay,
Yes,
one more
it is.
place that I can look. Oh, yes, here it is. I said, and I'll put it in the um, in our chat. If you can see chat in Zoom, that might help. But
Yeah,
it's, how do you react in the toughest of moments? This interview is for you
I,
if you're a woman who holds yourself back when power. Can you see it?
I see it
Okay,
perfectly right in front of me.
perfect.
It's very, thank you so much. Yeah, now it's interesting because now that I'm talking to you as well, now um yeah, I get anxious as well because this is still what I feel that I still experience, and I've experienced a lot of it in the past,
A lot of those
which is
difficult moments,
very,
huh?
yeah, a lot of those difficult moments. Yes.
So what is there one that's coming up for you now that you want to describe how you went through that?
Um, I think, I start to think that there's so many moments, and then do I want to be very personal in sharing that? Some of the moments are mainly around my family.
Uh-huh.
All of them originated with my family around, well, yeah, being disrespected, or yeah, being disrespected,
Yeah.
and like my family being bossy,
Uh-huh.
and me as a little girl feeling afraid to speak, and when I would speak or share my truth, then
Uh-huh.
it would get disregarded and it was not important. So then I started not to share anything
Uh-huh.
and hold myself back in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ways, yeah, including with other people as well. I also felt like I've always needed to be someone else so other people would be happy, and that came from my own parents
Uh-huh.
because from going through those experiences,
Yeah, that you couldn't be
and that
yourself.
all exactly, yeah, that I couldn't be myself. So if I had that quite young, and it meant that I couldn't be myself around other people, and I had to be someone else that they preferred over
Uh-huh.
being myself.
Okay. And that someone else was that something that you knew or something that you always had to be seeking?
It's something that I knew over time,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, at the same time, there has still been patterns and ways of being that still stem from how I was treated as
Uh-huh.
a child by my parents, that I find myself being in relationships with people, and that pattern is still there,
Uh-huh.
where I am holding back, where I'm not being myself, where I'm
Uh-huh.
afraid to speak, and afraid, yeah, and like saying sorry word in the past, I said it a lot of times because I felt that other people were more important than me, and I was less. But that also comes from having those experiences as a child. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't say this sorry word all the time, or no, I didn't say it to people. But feeling less than also
Mm-hmm.
made me say yes to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that still sometimes occurs where I do say yes to everyone and don't say no, and I don't take a pause and reflect.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And how does it, when you say yes and don't take that pause to reflect, how does that work out for you?
Well, I somehow used to think, and sometimes still think, that it's automatic, that
Mm-hmm.
I say yes and like give myself away in the sense, because of everything that happened in the past. What I'm noticing is that I'm not, I'm kind of putting it on the back burner. I'm making myself a victim instead of the one in charge of the situation, and
Uh-huh.
not choosing to be conscious about it,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
which I'm now realizing and applying, which is huge, because it
Yeah, that's a huge
helps
shift.
me.
That's a huge shift. So, when you're taking charge, how does that show up?
Question.
Uh-huh. Like an example,
Well,
maybe.
I'm not. What I see, I'm not being that little girl, and I'm taking responsibility with what I feel, what I say, and I'm taking action on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not holding myself back.
Wonderful. Can you give an example?
I'm just trying to think of
Okay, just
this thing.
take a deep breath, maybe, and go inside and just wait for it to come up.
So I think of when, um, with my family, and always feeling like I needed to owe them something. So I decided a couple of years ago that I did not want to be in touch with them anymore. And I made a conscious choice to not connect with them, like not be involved with them. And I told them that. And it's amazing because I hadn't realized that I could do that before. Like, I
Uh-huh.
felt like I had to owe them. And I didn't feel like that little girl anymore, because I felt, yes, this is what I need, and this is what matters. I matter. And of course, the more that I speak what I want, the better I am taking care of myself and taking responsibility for my
Uh-huh.
life.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah.
So that's the
It's a
one big
muscle to
example.
build kind of that way. You get better at it over time.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
it is. Yes. And at the same time, I always thought it was very scary, and I couldn't do it.
Uh-huh.
And it's a continuous practice.
Yes. Good, good, good. Oh, good for you, Ana. Do I pronounce your name
Thank
correctly? Is it Ana?
Yes, yes, you
Okay.
have. Yes.
Wonderful. So, is there something, a specific incident that comes to mind?
I just think of that moment that I shared. Yeah, everything I shared around my family has been the biggest learning curve, and I'm
Yeah.
still learning around other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
I still have this. I'm still learning. So the more able I am to be here for myself, the more honest I am with
Mm-hmm.
myself, then
Mm-hmm.
I can be with other people. And I don't, yeah, I'm not lying or trying to be nice. That's also been another element of me in the past, that I've always been nice, like always wanting to serve others, but I think from a place of needing love in return,
Right.
because my family couldn't provide that for me. So
Uh-huh.
being nice in a way was a way to feed that
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
unfulfilling
Mm-hmm.
of love inside.
And when you say your family couldn't provide you love, how did that show up?
Well, I was yeah, I was abused by them. And how
Oh.
did that show up? Well, I always felt lonely
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like they weren't really my parents because
Mm-hmm.
of how they treated me.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
did
I
they
wasn't
treat
able.
treat your siblings the same way, or were you the one who caught most of their abuse?
Yeah, I was the one that
Uh-huh.
caught most of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really tough to kind of be singled out that
And
way. Yeah.
and I noticed as well, being in that situation has also caused for my like victimization patterns or behaviors
Mm-hmm.
where I felt small and yeah, but
Yeah.
there's been a that caused that as well, and realizing that no, I'm not a victim. I do have the power. That
Uh-huh.
yeah, that switch has been with me.
Good, good. Yeah, it's a big switch. So, at this point in your life, what do you want to? You've made some tremendous progress, which is awesome. What At this point in your life, what do you want to know about empowering yourself?
That's a good question, and I think for me is to take care of myself, take full responsibility of my life and the things that I can do to take the action and be the know that I can do it, like having the confidence
Mm-hmm.
to do it. Yet myself,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not being afraid to
Mm-hmm.
fail
Mm-hmm.
and
Does
make
this?
mistakes,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
because that was also I used to be a perfectionist as well, and always going overboard and beyond, and but then never really fully taking the actions or achieving anything because so much in the
Right.
perfectionism,
Right.
it was another way of avoiding the present
Yeah, and
and avoiding.
trying to avoid abuse, trying to do it just right so abuse could be avoided.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so, about empowering yourself, when you say to know and to take action to do it, well, what is it to know what?
To know that I can do it, to know that I can take charge of my life and that I can do what I set out to do
Uh-huh.
and I can be there for others as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, to know as well, it also to be honest with myself because with
Mhm.
the perfectionism, I've always wanted to do so many things in a really, really big, well, like really huge, but that was another way of,
Uh-huh.
sabotaging myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, and can you give me a specific example of what you want to know and take action on?
Um, see, for instance, what I'm thinking is, um, so I have a business and I've had it for 8 years, and it's been on and off, on and off.
Uh-huh.
And I would also like to have a job
Uh-huh.
for the last 4 years. I would like to financially provide for my family and for myself,
Mhm.
to take responsibility in that way,
Mhm.
and in the stable, grounded way,
Mhm.
and to not just think about it and not take any action on it. And this year, I, I've decided and made a conscious choice to do that. So my business is working, and slowly I am receiving some freelance work. So it is there,
Uh-huh.
and it's always coming back to consciously deciding and making it happen in that way instead
Yeah.
of it being some far distant dream
Yes. Uh-huh. Well, congratulations
and
on
taking
your
it.
business starting to generate some revenue. This is good.
Thank you.
Congratulations. High five. Oh, good, good. And what kind of freelancing do you do?
Well, I've writing and writing. I'm also a writer. I
Uh,
like writing a lot. And
okay.
at the moment, so I'm testing the waters, and I have written in the past with other people
Uh-huh.
who I met on SourceBottle, and we
Uh-huh.
collaborated on book together.
Uh-huh. Writing. Uh-huh. Um, uh, and so your writing is mostly for books or
It's if in any way, in any shape or form.
okay.
Like it can be on the website.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's, yeah, just writing in any shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like writing a lot. I've
Yeah.
written since a small child. It was like my gateway, my support system, because I
Yeah.
used to
Uh-huh.
journal everything down to share all my feelings.
Yes.
I don't do that as much now, but it's still every time that I feel, I just get really, really inspired and then write.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Inspired and right. Wow. That's wonderful, and it's so good to get that inspiration out of you because it's so wonderful and juicy, and it's so good to get the those tough feelings out of you as well. Writing is brilliant for that as well. So
Absolutely.
good, and so so to know what to do and to take action on it really is the the big thing that gives you the ability to take charge of that next piece of your life. And that next piece of your life, is that the idea?
Yes, that's exactly it. Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
And
now that we're
go ahead.
and also putting the ideas into action,
Uh-huh.
because I've always had so many ideas
Uh-huh.
and it half implemented them, and this year I've been implementing them
Uh-huh. Good.
like instantly, having the idea and taking action on it, and doing it anyway, regardless of whether it's perfect or not.
Uh, Very good. Very good for you. That is exactly uh what the game is, because done is better than perfect, because perfect never really happens.
No, that's true. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I've
Very
learned that. Yeah, the hard way. Yeah.
good, good, good. Well, this has just been extraordinary. What is it that you um, the switch in your thinking, that, or in how you felt, that got you to go from just thinking about things and wishing, or I suppose maybe, but to actually taking action? What motivated you?
I think it was realizing that I wasn't getting anywhere, and that just the fact of ideas. I'm not. Nothing is. There's no results.
Uh-huh.
And then I started to see I was feeling unhappy, and other people were feeling unhappy around me, and then realizing I'm the one that needs to create that. The one that needs to take action to equal the results. And
Mm-hmm.
in the past, I think I made it like a big problem or sabotaged my way by
Uh-huh.
making it hard on myself. So
Uh-huh.
just taking it as, it being a choice, that why not
Yeah.
take a different spin on it, instead of
Mm-hmm.
seeing it as a problem or making it hard, make it easy instead, and
Yeah.
and also see it. the way of taking care of myself and others. Because it is.
Oh, that's a brilliant insight. Wonderful.
Yeah, completely transformational in that way.
Yeah, that is transformational. Wonderful. Well, this has just been extraordinary, and it gives me, in the context of the book, the thing that I'm uh, uh, doing these short interviews for is to find what women need. And so there was something that got you from inaction into action. And if I heard you correctly, it was realizing that you weren't getting anywhere. Is that
Yes.
it? Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good. And when you realize you're not getting anywhere, then that was just like you know, that moment of pivot where you knew you had to change in some way.
Yes, absolutely, because I realize I'm not taking care of myself at all, or taking charge of my life.
Indeed. That's
By
just brilliant.
brilliant.
Brilliant. So the steps that you took to start making that progress, what kind of steps did you do?
The first one, I became aware of it. I think awareness is everything. Of course, if I'm not aware of it, then I'm not going to change, or it's not going to change the situation. Just continuously keep repeating it. And I have a lot of, I'm sure, as we all have, a lot of examples where we are still repeating things at that too.
Yeah.
There is, it's okay, we're always at different stages anyway. So the awareness of it, and then the reality, the truth of it, of the situation, what's happening here. So there's no results. And then, it is almost like a mindset shift, but then it's a different choice at the same time, making a different choice. And realizing, okay, I am the one here that is creating this, so I am responsible for this. And then taking charge of it, taking 100% responsibility for it. And then that's where then the action, making the decision, and then taking the action.
Yes. Very good. Excellent. That is it, and it's so great, to like know the action. And if it's just one simple action, then that's easy. And if it's bigger than that, then you just break it down into little pieces.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. And then making it, not making it a problem or big, but taking it easier on yourself, or taking it easier on myself. I've always made it very hard.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, too.
Wonderful. Well, this has just been extraordinary, Ana. So is there something that I can, go ahead.
I've really enjoyed to connect with you and to answer as well.
Yeah.
Because I've also realized that I don't need to be afraid or have any anxiety. I think when we started to speak, I did have. But then the more that I spoke, the better I felt, knowing that this is my truth and it's good to share. And I appreciate your time as well.
Well, it's been my pleasure, and if it's okay, we'll keep in touch from time to time. If there's anything I can do for you, I'm happy to. I do have I started this about a month ago, a Facebook group of women who are on a similar journey as you, and taking steps forward. It's I'll put that in the chat, and
I'd love to hear it. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And I'd love to hear more about your book as well and how it.
Yes. so while I'm pulling that up, I'll tell you just a little bit. I came to this. I worked for years in technology, around, I mean, like military systems and uh, uh, the technology side of uh, telecommunications companies and stock clearing and all that kind of stuff. And, it's like 80% men in all of these situations. And I found a way to, let me see, I'm putting this link to Facebook in our Zoom chat. And there are just 3 questions to answer, and then you just get approved right away. So I found a way to really, because I started off with similar kinds of things. I grew up in a dysfunctional, somewhere in the middle of dysfunction, not too bad, not too light. All human relationships have some level of dysfunction, and my dad was like a military man. He had PTSD. Even back in the day before that was diagnosable, people had it, A war is hard on people. So anyway, I learned to sneak around and be invisible at home. And then when I went out into the world, that strategy didn't work very well. So, I had a whole variety of ways in which I learned to build my status, because if I wanted to do well in my career, which I did, I couldn't let people de-status me or make me less than just because of who God made me to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, turning around a difficult situation in a moment is really the kind of thing that is my, signature superpower, so to speak. So, and it gave me the ability to really gain the respect of other people while respecting them. And that kind of juiciness is wonderful.
What a great quality to have as well.
Yes, and that's what I train other women to do. So I'd love to have you in the Facebook group. I'm gonna do a longer. We do like little snippets of training in there, and then I'm gonna do a longer training here coming up in a few days.
That sounds great, and already I have joined, so I look forward in connecting with you there. And yeah, it'll be good to keep in touch as well. I'd love to know how it goes for you.
Okay, Anna, or Anna, and I'm delighted for this time together, and I've got to run and get ready for another meeting in 9 minutes. So thank you so very much.
And thank you so much, very much as well. I really appreciate this, and good luck to you.
Thank you, and you too. Let's stay in touch for sure through the Facebook group and every way there is.
We will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Mm-hmm. You too. Bye.
Bye.